so I can see it. But yes, we're going to do a quick Monster Hunter hunt and just kind of show you the gameplay loop. And I love Monster Hunter. I got into it with Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS, which by many counts is still a lot of people's favorite Monster Hunter. And I would say I really love 4. But I have put more time into Monster Hunter World. Don't let the timer here fool you. It says 34 hours. That's the PC version. On my PlayStation, I've got a lot more. Let me just make this a private session. Alright. We'll get into here real quick. Nice thing about the PC version is when you have it installed on a solid state drive, it loads so much faster. Yeah, 3DS. Alex says our streams feed works.
We need to find more of our mystery monsters trail. We should check
it's gonna
every
automatically
region.
update in
You can
the
go on
Discord
an
channel,
expedition
so that's a great
or
way
an
to keep on top
optional
of RP
quest.
Gamer's
Take your
streams.
pick.
This is a low. So, anyways, the PC. I haven't gotten too far in the PC version because I play mostly on the PlayStation, but that's not going to affect me showing you off a hunt. Here's the gameplay loop. You want to hunt a monster. There are story quests, there's optional quests, there's all kinds of different quests. We won't go over all the different types right now. We're just here to show you the loop. So I'm just going to pick a somewhat easy quest here to go through. And I might have to hunt 2 monsters. It'll have an easy one with just 1 monster. The nice thing is if you hunt more than 1 monster, they have less health each. So it still goes pretty quick. And the such. So you're going to pick a monster to hunt. There's some rewards for hunting monsters, some gold and stuff like that. No big deal. Especially if you're playing the PlayStation version, it can take a little while to load. And it background loads while you're in town. On the PC version, on the solid state drive, it's already preloaded. But on the PlayStation, this gave me time to manage my items. So you're going on a hunt. You're going to hunt a bunch of monsters. You're going to need to be prepared. And that's where having a whole bunch of potions, and the such can be really helpful depending on the monster that you're fighting. You're also going to be pretty well equipped. Depending on the monster. At the beginning, you're not too worried about it. The early monsters are pretty damn easy. Later on, when you're fighting some really tough monsters, especially solo, you're going to want to make sure that you have the appropriate equipment and the appropriate weapons. Some people specialize. There's 14 different weapons in the game. Some people specialize in one particular weapon. And other people, like me, use a variety of weapons and then choose the best weapon for the job. So there's a hammer, great sword, the insect glaive, the bow, and each of these is a different play style, and they're very, very well balanced. I mean, as far as like how fun they are to play. Obviously, I think some eventually become more effective than others at super high levels. But I mean, for me, they feel pretty well balanced, and I just use the right tool for the job. Again, this is supposed to be a quicker video. We're just kind of go over the loop, so I won't go into the 14 different types and what makes them different. I'm just going to take this big-ass hammer with me, and I'm not very good at the hammer, but it's what I have on me at the moment. Now, as any good hunter, before you go on a hunt, you need to prepare not only by making sure you have the right weapon and armor, but you also need to eat a good meal. You never want to hunt on an empty stomach. By the way, is my volume coming through okay? I don't have feedback volume turned on. So let me just double check here. It says it's capturing some of the volume from the game. It's capturing my voice. There's not a lot of game volume at the moment, but hopefully it's working. Anyways, just let me know in the chat. But yeah, you can pick something to eat here from your handler. She'll prepare you a meal and get you filled up, which will give you buffs for the fight, and some of these buffs very important. So you'll definitely want to chow down and enjoy that meal. Yum yum. All right, there we go. We got some buffs there. Now we're ready to go out and hunt. So in the older games, for the most part, I just ran until I found the monsters. In Monster Hunter World, what they did is they added some mechanics to help you find the monster. Because step 1, find the bloody monster. And in Monster Hunter World, there are tracks and clues you can find. And when you pick up enough of those, these fireflies will help lead you to the monster. And once you've hunted a monster, oh, thank you, Spear Umbrisa, for letting me know the sound sounds good. Great. Once you've hunted, and let me know, guys, if the balance ever seems to get off, I need to make some adjustments. I'll try to keep an eye on chat and make the necessary changes. But the fireflies, once you get enough clues, they're basically like your hound dogs. And they will go and lead you to the direction, you know, of the monster. So that's pretty handy to help you hunt. Another part of being a good monster hunter is using the land to your benefit. So as you're running around, you're going to come across different herbs and stuff, flowers, mushrooms, rocks, whatever. You want to pick these guys up and mine them, pick them up, whatever. That's just going to add to your stock. And later on, we turn them into the potions. We're back in town usually. You can do it on the field. I usually do it in town where I'm not being attacked. But you could turn these into, you know, potions and traps and all kinds of things that are going to help you in your hunt. So that's one of the things I like about Monster Hunter over something, say, a Dark Souls, is that preparation is a good part of helping you deal with tougher monsters. Whereas in Dark Souls, I feel like all you can do is really just get better, maybe level a bit. But in Monster Hunter, it can make a huge difference in a fight if you're properly prepared with the proper potions. Also, some of these materials, like here at this bone pile, you'll see me pick up some ancient bones and stuff, are used to craft better weapons and armor, you know, and other things. So it's good to stop and pick those up as well. They're not going to be used for potions and buffs, but rather for armor improvements and what have you. So the knowing the land, spending time in the land is part of it. That's a monster. He is not on our list, so we're going to pass him up. That's a great Jaggy. We're going to pass him up here. Let me take a look at my map here and see where this guy's at. I think I should have run into him by now. We're looking for a Pookie Pookie. Oh, he's run down there. How quaint. I could teleport to this camp here to get me a little bit closer. And we'll get over to him a little bit faster. Dragon Extinction. I'm going to read this as I run in just a second. Let me get off the ledge. Dragon Extinction is almost exactly like this game. I see where they got the inspiration. You know, I've never heard of Dragon Extinction. I'm gonna have to look that up. There are definitely a number of Monster Hunter clones out there, and I could spend a show just talking about those. A lot of them are in the handhelds. Understand that for the most part, Monster Hunter has had its home on the handhelds since the PlayStation 2 days. So a lot of the rip-offs are on there, and then a lot of those got ported to the PC later on. So, and the names are escaping me at the moment. I swear that Pookie Pookie is running away from me, and he's starting to tick me off. Where did he go now? Where? Now he's up here, so it'll be a little bit faster for me just to go up there. Oh, hit the wrong button. So once you've uncovered the camps, part of this game is exploration, exploring these different lands. And once you've uncovered the camps, you can use them as fast travel points, as I just did. And where is he at now? Oh, he's going down south again. Stay still for 2 seconds. Alright, there he is. So that's Pookie Pookie. He likes to hit you with poison, and I like to hit him with my hammer. So we're just gonna beat the crap out of him now. And, you know, depending on your weapon, when you're fighting these monsters, you're gonna want to learn how to block, dodge, and the stuff. So, now I'm using the hammer, and hammers are really good to beat monsters upside the head with them. Enough drama to the head. Boom. Just so satisfying. Oh, and there's the other monster right there. That's a 2 and a 2. Which is going to make this fight a lot more interesting. I mean, fighting one time. A new monster fighting every time definitely makes the life more interesting. But it's just more hectic. Alright. I'm just going to work on this guy now since the other one kind of ran away. I need to kill him anyways. Oh, now he's running away too. Now, as I whack them, parts of them will fall off. And you can pick up these parts. Some of them are ammunition for your slinger weapon that you won't see me use too often. Others are pieces that you can use to make armor later on. You can also see they left tracks, and you can pick up those tracks to help research the monsters some more and track them better. And the more you research them, the more you unlock information about it. Oh, the music is drowning out the voice. Yeah, Monster Hunter music will get looked up. Let me turn that down. Alright, let me know if it improves or continues to be an issue. I knocked it down by half in OBS. Now, the other thing about these monsters, you notice that there's no health bar. You have to watch the monsters. You know they're going to be hurt when they start limping and stuff. And that Pookie was already limping away. So I had hurt him pretty bad. This is probably a really overpowered hammer for me to knock him out so quick. Usually the hunts take a long time, but we wanted to do a quick one, so I picked an easy monster. Here's Kulalaku. Whoops. I must say, one of the cool things, you can jump off this ledge and do a diving attack, but he got away from the... Oh, that hurt. All right, you little bloodsucker. Another thing you'll notice is that you run faster when your weapon's put away, especially when you're using something big like the hammer. Oh, I've mounted the monster. So sometimes when you attack them on the back, you can mount them and ride them rodeo style. And if you can beat on them enough while you're riding them, they will be knocked over and you'll be able to do more damage. Does it sound better now? Hopefully the sound quality is a little bit better since I cut it down in half. As we knock this guy out. And let me just hit him on the head some more, because it's just right there. Boom. Boom. It's like Bam Bam from the Flintstones. And you can see he's limping. He's limping right there. So there's no hit point bars, but the fact that he's limping tells me he's really hurt. Let's see. Are the monsters hit point sponges, or what makes the hunt take so long? Sound quality is fine now. So yeah, on tougher hunts, it depends on how well equipped you are. I'm really super equipped for this, so that's why they're dying so quickly. Normally, typically, when things are in balance and you've got like just the right level of weapon, I'm going to say most of your hunts take 15 minutes tops. Players who play really good can do it in half that time, because a lot of this is also skill-based and how well you're able to chain things together and roll out of the way. And if you have to keep, running away to go heal somewhere, that's going to lengthen your hunt, right? But if you play something harder and tougher, something that you maybe you're not exactly geared for, you can still win with good skill, but it's going to take you longer. Because, the monsters, relatively speaking, are going to have more hit points. So... there's been some really tough fights that I've had, especially in the older monster hunters. There are certain situations where the monsters have inflated hit points, and those can take a while to get through. So this guy ran away to rest because I hurt him so bad, and he's recovering hit points slowly. Not that it's going to help him right there. So I can go ahead and finish him off, or I can trap him if I have a trap. And I didn't bring a trap. Oh, well. Trapping him can get you some more parts than killing him outright. But I didn't bring a trap, so we're just going to do this the old-fashioned way. Good morning, princess. That's his good morning knock to the head. Ah, die. So this is an easy monster. Yeah, they normally don't die quite that quickly. Now, once he's dead... you put away your weapon, and you come up to him, and you're going to carve up some parts. So my hunter's going to get down here, whip out his carving knife, cut up some parts. Those parts are going to be used to make more armor and weapons in the future, along with picking up metals and bones from the areas around me. There's a skill, or not a skill, but a weapon upgrade tree to build different types of weapons, different elemental weapons, weapons with various attacks and other stats. And each of those also have skills locked in on them. The armor weapons also have various skills and buffs. There's a deep system involving with the armor and what it can do for you. Whether it makes your character more defensive or offensive, there's a nice system in play there. The Kulalaku is over there. I really like how when you look at your map, your guy actually pulls it out. Here's another herb, but I already got full on those, so I can't carry more. But yeah, he actually pulls out the map and looks at it. I think that's a nice touch. So we'll go finish this other guy off here. Come here, Kulalaku. Pick up the mushrooms. Monster Hunter World makes it much faster to pick up mushrooms and stuff. And the older Monster Hunters, your character would stop and slowly pick it up or mine the ore, and it took a few hot seconds. Not a big deal, but quality of life. Having a little trouble finding exactly where Kula's at. I can see him on the mini-map, but this is a tangled mess of trees right here, so bear with me as I try to hunt him down. We'll say the ancient forest, and that's what this is a bit of a labyrinth. And despite the fact that on the PlayStation I have over 200 hours, 300 hours into this game, the layout in some places of this place are still confusing to me. Like, it looks like I should be kind of going up here, but I'm not seeing it. Great. He's hiding up there, and I don't know how to get to him. Lovely. Hey, let me show off the game. I can't find the monster. I'm not supposed to kill. Let's try going around. Is there a way I can go around this bend? Is that it right there? No. Ugh. This is... Oh, there he is. I think he's come down now because now I see movement. There he is. All right. There we go. Let's just knock this guy the rest of the way out. All right. So after you've beaten your monster there, it'll give you 60 seconds because you're going to need time to carve up the parts. So we'll come up here and carve up some pieces from him. And we'll go back to headquarters here and show you the rest of the loop. So, yep, you carve up your pieces. Poor Kula. He's seen better days. Yeah, the hunts don't normally go that fast. I didn't even use any potions or anything. Didn't really have to get into. You'll bring meat with you because in longer fights, your stamina bar will get shorter and shorter. You need to eat to replenish your energy. I didn't really even get into sharpening my weapons. Your weapons get stalled as you fight. You'll need to take a break from the fight and sharpen your weapons. The combats are definitely a bit deeper, and there's some item usage that's kind of required in there. If you're using a bow and arrow, you're going to have different types of arrows that you're going to use, that you're going to want to swap out and the such. So what I've just done here is just giving you a very brief overview so you can see some of the combat, but it is very, very well done. The weapons and the different styles, it's so great because if you get bored of fighting the monsters for whatever reason, just switch out your weapons and you've got like an entirely new game. Hell, just going from like the hammer to, let's say, the light bow gun turns this game from a melee brawler to a third-person shooter. It's really, really cool. And there's some really good weapons that have satisfying combos that are challenging to learn, but just, you know, feel so good once you get it all down. Then there's the insect glaive, which has you up in the air a lot, jumping around like some sort of acrobat. Okay, so when you come back to town, you know, with your parts, you're going to want to go to the blacksmith. We're going to go up here. Go up to the workshop. And you come to blacksmith, and with your pieces in your hand, you're so excited. You kill some Pookie. You killed some Anjaneth. You killed whatever. And you can forge and upgrade your equipment. The Palico equipment is your cat companion. There's a cat companion here. He's super cute. And you can forge all kinds of new weapons and armor and whatever have you. I'll go over here to the tree. You can see there's actually a tree here. And it'll show you exactly, you know, what pieces. So in order to build this hammer or this sword here, first I need to build this sword. Okay, and that takes 1 iron ore. So if we hit the A button, he'll make the sword. Costs a little bit of money as well. We got money. The guys are very excited to make my weapon. They just worked so hard on it for me. So nice. We're not going to equip it. We just want to show it off. But now that I have that in the box, I can now go to upgrade, because that's for forging new equipment. To upgrade it, I need to find it in the box. And there it is right there. And now I can see here I need 2 more iron ores to upgrade it to the next level. And you can see it goes from 384 attack to 432 attack. And the next one requires some ores. And those ores and bones, as I mentioned earlier, you find those out in the fields, right? Those are ones you find out in the fields. The next one after that, more ores that you find out on the fields. This is the ore tree. So the upgrades here are all exploration based. Whereas, you know, certain other ones, like here, the thunder element requires not only a little bit of ore, but requires pieces from Toby Kadachi, which is the flying serpent. So, yeah, it's really cool because you can look on here and go, oh, I really want this sword, but I don't have enough Toby Kadachi electrodes. Let me go out and kill some Toby Kadachi and take a quest or two. Now, some of these pieces are a little bit harder to get than others. Some of these pieces you only get if you break his head before you kill him. Breaking means to do enough damage to a particular section of the monster that it'll wound it and the piece will fly off. You can also, on some of these monsters, cut their tail off. If you're using a sharp weapon, like a long sword, and you focus on the tail will come right off and you'll get special tail pieces. So some of the pieces are a little bit more rare and harder to get than others, which adds a little bit of challenge and fun to it. I really like that, system. So, but there's all kinds of different weapons. Again, there's just, when you look at the weapon types here, you got great sword, you got sword and shield, hammer, lance, switch axe, insect, glaive. These are all different types of melee weapons. The heavy bow gun, of course, and the bow are ranged weapons, and the light bow gun. And these three ranged weapons play very differently from each other. The bow is very well done in this iteration. I will say, in older Monster Hunter games, I never really enjoyed playing the bow, but here, it is just so much fun. So much fun. I could do a show just on how fun the bow is. But you also got the charge blade, the gun lance, which is a combination of a lance that fires off bullets and stuff. It's really cool. The hunting horn, which is very similar to the hammer, but by playing or hitting your attacks in a certain way, you play notes and you can buff your friends. The dual blades, extremely fast. For those people who want to zip around, they don't believe in defense, you believe in just never being hit, zipping around really fast and doing a bunch of quick strikes. And your long sword, which is a combo king weapon, it rewards proper timing and finesse and combos. So a lot of really cool different weapons. And one of the cool things about this is the way it makes your character look. So if I go in here and forge armor, I can show you what I mean. So let me do the X button for preview. But this is kind of like your beginning armor you might start the game off with, right? And then later on, when you beat a bunch of, let's say, Kualaku, that bird I was fighting, you can look like this. Now, obviously, a big part of this is, does he have better stats? Does it have the skills I want? And that's a really awesome part of the game. But one of the things I really love is just dress me up characters. They've done such a really great job with some of the designs on these. So one of the big draws of the game is just unlocking different looks for your character. Now, when Monster Hunter first came out, there would be a little bit of a conflict because you have to wear certain armors to have the best stats to be able to take on the toughest monsters. And sometimes it means mixing and matching pieces and you look like crap. With newer Monster Hunter games, especially Monster Hunter World, they do have ways for you to unlock the appearances. Like, I think this Zora, awesome. This makes my character look like a real awesome Death Knight. But it doesn't have the best stats. But now, with the new Iceboard and stuff, you can unlock this as a skin and put that over top of your highly optimized, ugly-looking armor. So you can kick butt and look good doing it too. This one's really awesome. I think some of you might like this. I love the way that looks right there. So, yeah. The only other quick little part here that I'll show off is you can also remember I told you picked up herbs and stuff before. You're going to use that to craft all kinds of potions, traps, buffs for your character to use in a battle. Extra weapons like the barrel bomb that can explode. Those are really fun when a monster is sleeping. You put an explosive barrel down next to his head and then you hit it with a ranged weapon and watch the fun. It's called the world's most awesome wake-up call. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool things that you can do, in the game. But that's kind of the basic. That's kind of the basic Monster Hunter loop. There's obviously a ton more detail, especially with each iteration. Monster Hunter World has its own mechanics, but this is the basic loop that you'll find in any Monster Hunter game, and the draw on why people love to play it. The hunts are done really well. The monsters, as you saw, really well. Even on the older games, they're just very well animated. The fights are visceral. They feel good. The kinetic, impact when weapons hit feel good. The combat is smooth, buttery smooth. Even on 3DS, they kept the frame rate smooth. But it's just so well executed. And part of the reason is this is like they've been doing this for 10 or 12 years now, or whatever have you, and doing games every year or two. So they've had plenty of time. They keep refining the formula and not reinventing the wheel each time. So you get this really, high-end product that's a lot of fun to play. And by the way, see, there's my Palico there, cleaning herself. I made that after my late cat Minu, so that's why it's called Minu Cat. Little trivia there, but yeah. So that's Monster Hunter in a nutshell. Hope you were able to see something there, and hopefully you'll join us on some hunts later on. Love to be able to hunt with some people, but there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and log out now, unless there's any last minute questions. I'll give a moment for any last minute questions here. This place is really nice to look at too while I'm waiting for any last minute questions. This is the canteen where you can come up to eat. The Palicos are working hard, making food. I just like to see them make a meal. All right, looks like there's not any last minute questions. For anybody who's watching this after the fact, especially whatever have you, please join us at rpgamer.com, your source for news, reviews, and home to the best gaming community on the net. We have all kinds of podcasts over there, like the RPG Backtrack, where we talk about games from the way back when, right up through yesteryear, and Q&A Quest, where we answer questions every single week from our readers and listeners. We have the RPG Cast, where we go over more recent news, and all kinds of reviews and articles written in written format right there on the website. We also have video reviews up on YouTube, as well as some of my shows will be going up on there as well. And we have regular Twitch, working on new regular Twitch content. We have a community over our Discord server. You can find that by heading over to rpgamer.com, clicking on community, and then go down to Discord and join us on the server. And that way you can keep posted every time we're doing a new Twitch or anything along those lines. We're happy to have you there. Join me here every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I'm either doing a stream or the RP Gamer Experience show, or both. But we do that every single Monday night. We're also looking at some other days and time slots. So again, join me on the Discord, join on the conversation, help us form these new shows that we're doing, because we'd love to hear from you, our audience. Thank you so much for spending time with me today, or watching this after the fact. And I hope you can join us in Monster Hunter World sometimes, or any of the other Monster Hunter games. But until then, happy hunting and stay safe.